For many years, IO Interactive has been creating very immersive and diverse games in terms of cultural and historical references. Agent 47 visited a lot of interesting places around the world, and Hitman 2016 is no exception. So it's always interesting to see where developers might take inspiration from. That's why I decided to create a new set of videos called Hitman Insight. In these videos, I will try to examine interesting details players have found in the game and how these things have a sort of response in real life, locations, characters, habits, and other activities. So without further introduction, I present you Hitman Insight. For the first episode, the character which caught my attention the most is one of the first targets in Paris mission, Russian oligarch Viktor Novikov, who happens to hold a massive designer show in Paris. As Russian myself, the surname Novikov can certainly ring a bell. The surname in Russia is nothing of being special or rare, but it's not cliched like Petrov, Stalin, Brezhnev, Vodkov or whatever we see in media. So maybe IO Interactive did some actual research to find appropriate prototype for this character. After searching Google for some time, I didn't find any solid analogies of wealthy people in Russia who might be related to, let's say, creative work as Viktor Novikov, but I found something more interesting instead. The further information is just speculation and guessing, but frankly speaking, IO Interactive might have used this exact person I'm about to present as a prototype, as he's well known around the world for his works and business success. Here I present you a very famous businessman and restaurateur, Arkady Novikov. Arkady Novikov started his business career basically from scratch. The guy just loved cooking, and at his teenage years he used to lease university property to start his own little cafe. Cafe called Sirena was the first place where he showed his cooking skills. Until this day, this fish restaurant is welcomed by many students and remains quite famous in Moscow. Novikov tells that after Soviet Union collapse in 90s, it was a hard time for restaurateurs to find good meat. So he organized it as a fish restaurant, which immediately became popular back then. According to him, many criminal people were having meals down there, and a lot of them were of course engaged into racketeering. At some time, they wanted to have his restaurant as well. As for today, Novikov's company called Novikov Group has established over 50 restaurants and cafes in Russia and around the world. In 2011, the first restaurant Novikov was opened in London, and in 2015, the same one was opened in Dubai. For his accomplishment in business, he was also awarded a very prestigious Order of Merit for the Italian Republic called Ordine al Merito della Repubblica Italiana, and of course it's not big of a secret that Arkady Novikov is very wealthy. In 2008, he bought Villa Fontanelli for £26 million, which previously belonged to none other than Gianni Versace.
Your turn.
As for personal experience, I visited plenty of these restaurants and they vary from their approach to different kinds of audiences. On the one hand, there is a cafe network called Prime, made especially for students. You can get fresh sandwiches there, fresh juices, and all sorts of lunches and breakfasts in between study hours. Other restaurants like Bolshoi, Vogue Cafe, or Not Too Far East share exquisite services and outstanding cuisine. Restaurants like Chips, especially beloved by me, oh my god, this restaurant, and Kamchatka Bar are also high-quality places, even if they are more focused on younger audience. And while Viktor Novikov of Hitman knows basically nothing about his business, Arkady Novikov seems to have great taste in choosing appropriate and professional people to make unique dishes, comfortable environments, and memorable atmosphere. He makes most of his management according to his taste, and I gotta say, he has a very nice one.
Good work, 47. Time to find Dalia Margolis.
So, what do you think of it? Do you think there could be general similarities between Viktor and Arkady Novikov? Share your ideas down in the comments. The next episode will be about Sapienza, where developers took a template from and the history of this beautiful Italian place.